Hi, it's Deborah. So I'm going to start with a shoulder opener because I've heard more, not complaints, but more discussion about I'd love to do yoga, however I have issues either with my knees, my hips, or my shoulders. So we're going to start in an upright way, so it's vertical yoga, which also makes it a little bit easier for you to watch the camera and see me, see what's going on without straining your neck, which becomes a challenge in some of the other poses that we'll do. So shoulder openers are meant to kind of release tension and help you gain range of motion. So before we start, let's give it a test. And I want you to raise your arms up as high as you can, pain-free, just lifting them up as high as you can. So if you need to stop here, do, but find what your range of motion is. And I happen to be against two walls so that I can demonstrate for you. So I'm going to turn a little bit, but I also want you to raise it this way and see how much range of motion you have, pain-free. Don't force anything, just to give you a benchmark for when you're finished. So here's how we're going to start. You could be barefoot on a mat, or you could be in shoes on a hardwood or on a carpeted floor, but you want to have some leverage. So you want to make sure that you're not going to slip. In other words, socks on a hardwood floor, probably not a good idea. So I'm going to have you take one arm. You're going to push it against the wall and you're going to straighten your arm out. So in this way, you're going to be able to put weight on that arm. I am pushing with my body just by leveraging with my feet. I'm not bending my knees. I have straight legs, so it's in control. But I want you to really push hard as if you're going to push that wall over. And we're going to hold that for about 30 seconds while I have you on video. So if you're doing this after you've watched it once or twice, you're not going to need me anymore. So you might end up holding this for a minute or 2 minutes. And the longer you hold it, the greater the benefits will be. You really don't need to build up to do that longer because you're in control the entire time. You can back off the pressure if you need to. This should not hurt. If it does, please just stop. This one's not for you. So you're going to push hard, and this has been about 30 seconds. Now I'm going to release that arm, and I'm actually going to relax it and then go to the other arm. So I'm going to push here and press, keeping my shoulders down, thinking about good posture and pressing. So there's a little lean with your leverage against the wall. An easy press, it should feel about the same on both sides. Pushing the wall over, that's what you're thinking. You really want to imagine, what is it like when you're down on the floor? If you could, do a push-up and you have weight on it. We're allowed here to do that without so much stress and strain. We don't have our body weight on it, plus balance. We don't have to worry about balance here at all. And we can control how much you're pushing. So by 30 seconds by now I'm going to change, and here's what I'm going to do. So we're going to do a downward facing dog, and this becomes a challenge if you have shoulder issues on the floor. We're just going to use the wall, and you could also use your kitchen counter or a high tabletop or desk to do this. Think about, and maybe not so high if you're petite, but about level with your hips so that you are parallel to the floor, and press away, tailbone away from the wall, hands toward the wall, and your ears go right between your arms. So you want to avoid this and be instead here and pushing. Now you want your heels ahead of your hip or just under your hip, but as you pull back through your hips, you're going to feel a great stretch also through your hamstring and through your hip connection here. And all of that is good stuff. So this is opening up your shoulders, and you can drop down just a little bit. So your hands may be a little bit higher than your hips. Just make sure it's still comfortable for you. And then relax and come up. So if you have really a stiff back or trouble with it, you want to make sure when you come up, you bend your knees and round through your back. Use the wall to walk up. And as you shake those arms out, they may tingle just a little bit, and they may tingle as you bring your arm away from the wall. That's natural because there's been a lot of blood flow going there, so there's things going on. From there, we're going to do one more. So I want you to come up if you can. And if this is not comfortable, it's not your range of motion, skip this one. Don't try to do it out here. But you reach the arms up, and as you look at the camera, you're going to reach your left or your right arm up toward the ceiling and reach your right heel down into the floor. So you're thinking reach down and reach up, get long against this side. Hold your wrist here and rest your head or your ear right on that left arm. And then just carry it over to the side. So you're going to get a nice stretch out of the shoulder, but also out there sideways. So you should feel like opening up all the way down. So only go as far as you're comfortable. That edge, remember. And then inhale, pull a little bit longer and go just a little bit further. And slowly come up. And you're going to switch hands. So you're going to reach with your left arm to the ceiling, your left heel to the floor, and lift up and over. Now, if you're feeling like this one is a challenge for you balance-wise, the other arm doesn't even have to go on that wrist. You can lift up and reach over, but support yourself with the wall and still get a lot of benefit out of that stretch. If you can, try to open up, be able to look at the ceiling if it doesn't bother your neck. And then lift and come up. Take the arms up one more time, and you should feel like they need a little blood flow. And exhale, relax, take your arms down and back to the center. And this pose ending position is called mountain pose. And it's the way we start and we end a lot of the poses. Shake your shoulders out and give yourself that pre-test one more time. Does that range of motion feel easier or not? Comment below and let me know how that worked for you.